Hey guys, it's Stasia and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I decided that we are going to kind of do a check-in sort of thing. I did the mid-year freak out book tag a couple months ago, and that kind of just showed you guys where I was at with like my reading and stuff. So the books I've been loving, the books that have been letting me down, things like that. So in the beginning of the year, I made this video, which is my 2021 goals. It was bookish, social, personal, and my word of the year. So basically what we're gonna do is we are going to rewatch that video together and basically see where we're at with things. So I will keep the video like down here so that you guys can see what I'm seeing, but I have it on my phone here. So let's go ahead and see what the goals are. Okay, so we're starting off with bookish goals. Last year, I read 135 books, and this year, I kind of want to stick with the same like goal. So I made my Goodreads goal 100 books, which hopefully is reasonable. Okay, so the first one is my Goodreads goal of 100 books. I have not touched it, so it is still at 100. I didn't lower it or make it any higher. But an update on that goal, I am currently reading my 87th book. So I have completed 86 of 100 books, 24 books ahead of schedule. Will I go over my 130 something from last year? Not sure, but I definitely think I'm 100% on track to reaching that goal. So that's nice. One goal is going good. I gave myself a challenge. I'm doing a 12 recommendations from 12 friends in 12 months. Okay, next I talked about my 12 book recommendations from 12 friends in 12 months. That is a mouthful. Basically, if you don't know what that is, if you just subscribed to me not too long ago or something, was in the beginning of the year, I asked 12 of my friends to choose 12 books off of my physical TBR only that I would read one book per month. So let's go ahead and go through that really quick. So for the month of January, my book was Divergent, which I read and gave it 5 stars. February was The Book Thief, which I read and also gave 5 stars. March was The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I've read and gave 5 stars. April was All the Light We Cannot See. I believe I gave that 3 stars. May was Where the Crawdads Sing, gave that 5 stars. June was Catching Fire, basically the book that I left off on for the Hunger Games trilogy, and that was Catching Fire because I only read the first one, and I gave Catching Fire 5 stars. July was Since You've Been Gone, which I gave 5 stars. Of the past 7 months, 6 of them were 5 stars, so that's great. Update for the rest of the year. August is The Girl the Sea Gave Back, which is on my TBR, so I will get to that one. September is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, which I still have. October is Ace of Shades, which I still have. November is After You, which I still have. And December is The Woman in Cabin 10. So the rest of the 5 books have not read, still on my TBR, and I will get to them on the month that I need to. So we're doing great. So far I've read 7 of 7 books, and we will continue the streak. Next goal. On top of that, I want to read more outside of my comfort zone. I do read a lot of like contemporary romance. That's my comfort zone. That's what I like. But since I want to read outside of my comfort zone, I am going to try to read 1, maybe 2 complete fantasy series. So one of those that I'm going to be reading is The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. Yes, so I have been reading out of my comfort zone. Actually, let me go to my stats page really quick and let you guys know how many books that I have read. Like I said, romance contemporary is my comfort zone. Throughout the year, I've already read 19 fantasy, which is great. Obviously, that doesn't compare to my romance contemporary numbers, but I read 19 fantasy and 5 dystopian, which are not in my comfort zone at all. Next point was The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. They are right there. and I have been reading them. I've read all of them except for the last one. I actually am really enjoying it. I've vlogged the first 4, so I will leave that down in the description if you want to check that playlist out. But I have read that series. I'm almost done. This month I will be reading the last one, which is City of Heavenly Fire, and I will put a check mark next to that in my year goals. Like in the air, maybe I'll read it. I want to is right there, and that is the Lunar Chronicles. I've heard great things about those. I think those are like fantasy sci-fi, but still up my alley because they're like retellings. So hopefully I get to that. Okay, so the second series that I said I wanted to read was the Lunar Chronicles, right there, and I have. I actually just finished the first book, Cinder, and I will be reading Scarlet hopefully next week. I am hosting a read-along because apparently I'm not the only person in the world who has not read it. So, I've been hosting a read-along. I will leave my announcement video down below if you want to join us. So far, we've only read Cinder, and our Scarlet live show is in 2 weeks. So, pat on the back for me because I've also started that series. I also want to cut back on buying physical books, unfortunately, and make more use out of my Kindle. I do use this a lot, but I mainly use it for the library, so I don't actually have a lot of Kindle books, just a lot of like borrowed books on here. Okay, so my next bookish goal was to get less physical books and read more from my Kindle. I have been doing a great job at that because my format, the most amount format books that I've read are ebooks, and that is at 37, and I've read 20 physical books. As for buying, that is kind of weird because the amount of books that I've acquired is a lot. Like I've gotten over 100 books, but I have not bought most of them, and a lot of the books that I have acquired have been through ebook, not physical. So I do think I'm doing great on that as well. And then the last bookish goal I have is to get my owned to read books under 50%. Okay, so this goal of getting my owned books like read under 50%, I have an entire Google Docs that has every single book that I own and whether or not I've read it, and I will be happy to say that I have officially read 54.8% of my physical TBR, which I think is great because my goal was obviously to get over 50, and I'm already at 54. The year's not over yet, so I am hoping maybe by the end of the year we can revisit this and it will be at like 60% hopefully, but it's hard to like combat that with the books that I get. But that is only my physical books. I don't want to talk about the amount of books on my Kindle. That is a different story. But so far, that goal is accomplished if I stay at the same stream and don't buy more than I read. My social media goals. So, without talking numbers, obviously, that's not what we're here for. But I want to, for YouTube, we're gonna start now, I guess, and I really want to stick to a Sunday, Wednesday upload schedule. Okay, so I've mentioned a Sunday, Wednesday upload schedule for YouTube. That has been a hit or a miss. There are weeks where I'm on top of it and I do have a Wednesday schedule up and I do have a Sunday video up. And then there's just weeks where I just don't do anything for like 3 weeks. So I'm not really sure if you could say that I've accomplished that goal or not. I do think I have been very active and I've been decent at uploading. Like I haven't completely fallen off the platform for YouTube. But I am back at school full time. So that goal is kind of switched for me. If I get 1 video up a week, I'm happy with that. So take that as you will. On top of that, I do want to upload more vlogs. So now on my channel, I'm going to do like less TBR videos in the beginning of the month, and I think I'm gonna try to kind of transfer into more like secret TBR videos, which I think will be more fun. Okay, so a couple more things that I mentioned for YouTube would be I wanted to stray away from TBRs and do more secret TBR videos. That has been up in the air. I have done a few like secret TBR videos, but I still upload TBR videos every month. but that is because I'm in a lot of like book clubs and things like that. So I have been doing more secret TBRs and I do want to continue doing them, but I don't know. I mean, it's been fun. I have been uploading more vlogs though, so I will give myself a pat on the back for that. For Bookstagram, I want to be more consistent there. Usually I am really consistent, but some days I'll just go like a whole week without posting. So I want to keep myself accountable to at least post 4 times a week. Instagram, 4 times a week. I usually actually post daily on Instagram, and I've been doing really good at that until a few months ago, where I would constantly get put into Instagram jail. I have kind of lost my streak and my motivation to post on Instagram, mainly because I just keep getting put in jail. So while I was really consistent for the first, I would say like 5 months of the year, I started getting put into Facebook jail or Instagram jail a lot. So unfortunately, I'm no longer consistent on there. I just post when I want, but I do want to get back into it without getting into jail. But I don't know how to do that because I'm always put in jail. But I don't know. I was consistent and then I'm not. So it's fine. Lastly, I'm thinking about hosting a readathon, probably a short one, and I'm thinking in July because that's my birthday. So I kind of wanted to do a readathon. That's kind of up in the air. So my last social media goal was to host a readathon for my birthday in July, which I did do. I did a 2-week readathon the first 2 weeks of July to celebrate my birthday, and I had such a great time. It was so much fun. I love the participation. I really enjoyed myself. So I do think that I will be bringing that back next year. We'll need to see, but I did that, so that's great. So that is all of the goals that I will discuss with you guys today. There's a little short part at the end discussing my personal goals, but it's been a year, so we don't need to look at the goals and whether or not I've accomplished them in the personal category. But I do think that I'm doing pretty great on my bookish and my social goals. Yeah, I just wanted to do a check-in, see where I was at with all of these goals that I had in the beginning of the year, because goals, lists, things like that really get me motivated and make me want to do things. Yeah, so let me know your Goodreads goal or a goal that you had at the beginning of the year, an author you wanted to try, a book you wanted to get to, anything like that. And if you're working on it, or if you've changed your goal, if you've accomplished it, anything like that. Tell me all the good news, all the progress. Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, that's pretty much everything from me. Thank you so much for watching. You can like, comment, and subscribe down below if you would like. All of my socials to follow me anywhere else are in the description as always, along with some Discord servers if you are interested. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!